We're now joined by Andrew Cogliano and Andrej Sekera of the Dallas Stars. We'll start taking questions. Stephen Wino, Associated Press.
Hey, Andrew, obviously we've seen these scrums and everything after the whistles and in this series. I'm just curious, this is a very basic question, but what's it like to play in this series and kind of the intensity and the dislike that's building up?
Is that to me? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's expected, with the finals. Every team's, both teams are going to fight for every inch. And, as the series goes on, it's just going to get more competitive. And, it seems like in this setting with no fans, it's even more competitive out there with, just you and the other team. So I think we don't want to take penalties after the whistle. I think that's something that we have to be conscious about. But our emotional level needs to be where it is and needs to continue to get better.
Tom Galiti, NHL.com.
This is for either of you. What adjustments did you see Tampa Bay make on its power play, if any, and what do you guys kind of have to do maybe better against them to kind of close down that pass through the middle pass into the slot that they did into their goals?
I think first we cannot take penalties, so we play 5-on-5. And then just be aware, they have good players, they'll make plays, but we just try to be at the right place. We'll have our sticks on the A's, and if they make a nice plays and sauce it or something, we will tip the head out, but we'll try to do whatever we can to prevent those passes going through.
A reminder to the media, if you have a question for either Andrew or Andre, please use the raise your hand function. Mike Heika, DallasStars.com.
Hey, Andrew. What's it like as the series goes on? I think we saw with Colorado just how intensified it got and everything like that. And it just seems like as this one's going on, each step makes it a little bit more. You know more about them, they know more about you, and now it's just a play on the ice.
Yeah, I think so. I think, you start really understanding their team and they start, understanding what we're about as well. So, as the series goes on, it gets mentally tougher, and I think that's what we have to prepare ourselves for. I think it's physically it's hard out there, but mentally you have to be able to stick to your game plan for 60 minutes. I think that's why we are where we are, and we're playing against them. They're a very good team, and in order to beat them on a nightly basis, you're going to have to stick to your game plan for the full game, especially against this team. They're a team that has been playing close games all playoffs, and they have high talent, and they could score at when they get the opportunity. So that's what we have to really focus on as we move forward here.
Matt DeFranks, Dallas Morning News.
Hey, Andrew. Your line has been together for the last year and a half, pretty much always. So what is it like for you adjusting to new line mates when Rodic and Blake go down?
Yeah, I thought Dickie came in and it was, we did a good job with me, Dickie, and Como. And I think, we're just, whoever you play with at this point, you have to make it work. I think that's what the bottom line is and whatever the line you're on, you have to bring something to the table and you have to have an identity as a line. So I'll hopefully do that tomorrow with whoever I play with and just like the other guys. So I think that's what the playoffs is about. You got to adapt.
Kevin McGran, Toronto Star.
For either one of you or both, if you'd like to answer it. I know it's been a long, hard time in the bubble for you guys. The playoffs have been really long, and hopefully the payoff is worth it. But what's been the hardest part of being in the bubble this long?
Not seeing the family and being with them, The guys are great. The setup is good, and we have everything that we need here. But, a lot of guys have families and kids and stuff like that. And you would like to share the experience with them. And, there's days that you miss them and stuff like that. So I think the family is the most important thing.
Rob Tichkowski, Post Media.
Hi, Andrew. Both general managers have said earlier in the week that, the deeper you go into the playoffs, it becomes less about skill and more about will. Why is that? And how big an impact do you think the physical element is going to be in who wins or loses this series?
Yeah, I think that's correct. I think as you get deeper in the playoffs, it's just about, the teams are so good that what separates you sometimes is, you know, whoever wants it more. I think physically, you know, they're going through the same thing like us, and we have to continue to play hard, and they will play hard too. And like I said earlier, I think it comes down to mentally sticking with what you know wins games for, you know, every single game. And I think, you know, we've done that for the better portion of this playoffs, and that's why we are where we are. And it just really comes down to, you know, your will and your resolve in terms of, you know, mentally coming to the rink every night and putting everything you have for that game and in order to win. So physically and mentally it's hard, but you know, that's the point at this time of the year, and that's the point of playing in the playoffs. It's supposed to be hard, and you have to enjoy it and want to be out there.
Greg Wyshynski, ESPN.
Thanks a lot. Hey, Andrew, was wondering, so we had 24 teams. We had an extra playoff round. We've only had 3 suspensions in these playoffs. I was wondering your take on that. Is it just an anomaly of a year? Is it no crowd? Is it you guys being on better behavior? What's your opinion on why we haven't seen more of the suspension-worthy stuff in this playoff?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. You know, I think it seems like the intensity is the same as, you know, regular playoffs. It seems like guys maybe are just a bit smarter in terms of not crossing the line. I don't think anyone really wants to see suspensions because that means guys are probably going to get injured. So I think it's about physical play, playing hard, and taking your man, but, you know, doing it within the rules. And for a team, you know, for us, we don't want to be in the penalty box. So we want to play 5-on-5.
Nick Kotsanika, NHL.com.
Hey, Andrew, I'm fishing here on life in the bubble. I mean, you've been there for 2 months now. Kind of curious if you've gotten to know people that you wouldn't have otherwise, like NHL staff, the folks who are doing this press conference, the camera people following you around. Just when you're in this shared experience for 2 months, have you developed friendships, you know, with people or created a bond with people you wouldn't have otherwise?
Yeah, for sure. I think you know, you're seeing the same people a lot. So you're able to, you know, definitely know each other and know people's names and talk to them. And, you know, I think that's one experience that you'll probably carry on in terms of down the line when you see people. Like I said, you're seeing really the same people every single day and people at the hotel. And so that's one thing with the bubble is you're always running into people. But yeah, you get to know NHL personnel and seeing people that you really probably would never have seen during a Stanley Cup final.
Stephen Wino, Associated Press.
Hey, I know, Andre, I know Andrew's the guy taking faceoffs at times, but I'm curious, what's the value, Rick mentioned this last night, to you guys of winning faceoffs in terms of having the puck and not chasing the game when you lose those draws?
Well, every single time when you win a faceoffs, you are in charge of the game and you are creating the plays. So, you know, whenever you have the puck on the edge of the possession, you can create more and you don't have to defend. You let the other team try to defend you, and you just got to make sure that we have a plan after every faceoffs and try to get the puck out from our zone up and go in their zone and play some hockey there.
We'll finish with one question in Slovak for Andre. So, Andrew, you can be excused. Thank you. Zdeněk Matějovský, TV Nova Sport.
Andrej, ahoj.
Čau.
Prosím tě, 2 části ta otázka. První část, co vám chybělo v porovnání s prvním zápasem v tom druhém a jak se vylepší na ten třetí? A pak ta druhá část otázky by byla, hraješ hodně, obzvláště v oslabení, jak tě těší to, že jsi tak důležitým hráčem v letošním playoff?
Čo sa týka toho zápasu včerajšieho, nemali sme dobrý začiatok a neboli sme emotívni v tom začiatku a to sa zrkadlo na celej tej hre v prvej tretine. Či už tie oslabenia a nemali sme moc veľa šancí a tá naša hra nebola taká ako predtým, no ale potom ďalšie 2 tretiny sme hrali svoj hokej, len škoda toho výsledku. Tampa využila naše chyby v prvej tretine, našu nepripravenosť a pozerali asi to oslabenia vedeli, čo ako trošku inak zahrať, aby boli oni úspešní, takže klobúk dole aj pred nimi. A čo sa týka tej druhej otázky, že som vyťažovaný v oslabeniach, tak ja som rád, že tréner dôverie v týchto situáciách a že ma tam dáva a že mi verí. A ja sa